Hello, this is Vance, and I'm going to put in a trade right here. I'm going to buy limit right at the top of this bar here. Oops. There you go. I might have missed it. No, I'm in. Okay, so 15 ticks down here. I'll tell you why I want this trade. Just let me put my markers on here. Make this a little bit bigger. And let me just kind of... Okay, got it on. Now the reason I like this trade here at the bottom is I think it's 2 legs back, first leg, second leg. I have exhaustion down near this area from what I measured move from off the high. And oops, let me just cut this over here. And so I think this is the bottom of this tight trading range. Now I got in at this level. I think this was an overshoot, and that's why I put this trade on here. My stop is below the signal bar, both recent price action is below the lows. And so that's why I put this trade on there. I was pretty rapid about it. I like this particular trade because of that. I think we're oversold, and I can see that even though price came down to this level, I'll talk about the other stuff later on. Originally, I thought 91, like above $90. That we were going to go. We touched 91. I thought we were going to go higher than that, but then we failed, and so that really was a line in the sand. But I'll talk about that later. I had a trade on here that I showed a demonstration trade, but this is the other trade. Now, I didn't get in any of this. I mean, I was looking at this. I really kind of thought of going long right here when price really tested this bottom, but I didn't get a really good signal for it, and then price failed off of this one. So this is, I was really finished trading by this time. I put on this demo trade. I'm almost finished for today, but I thought this was a pretty decent example of what you would call a, what I would say is a reversal or counter trend trade. Now, definitely a reversal trade at the bottom of this tight trading range. By definition, these have a tendency to be more aggressive. It's not really, it's a second entry, but second entry to the upside. So it's second entry against what I look at as support. These are the lows, and we're looking at it from the standpoint of where this, if you look at this is where we had pulled back from yesterday in this area. And, you know, for the second tier down, the ultimate low was $88. I talked about that yesterday, so, or this morning, I mean. So that's why I've got this trade on right now. We're right ahead. Let me just make this a little bigger. I'll put this way. If you look at it from that perspective, there you go. So I've got my first 2 contracts off. Sorry about being kind of, and there you go. So now I'm looking at the testing this other side. It might come up just to this area. Well, I'll wait and see. I mean, I've got a little bit higher. I got more. My target's really at the top of these ranges here. Might have some resistance, but as I said, this is once you get the first 2 contracts off, it just, you can let it run. Will we have a pullback down? Will it come back? And you know, if it comes over this, if we get prices over here, and if it holds this area, we could very well have a retracement back to where the second leg of this move started. So we might come back all this way, because when you look at the volatility, but it's really, you can't really speculate on that at this juncture. Right now, it's a tight trading range. I'll be satisfied to see how price moves up to this area. But as I said, we've already got our first 2 contracts off, so this is a free position. So I'll just let it go for now. Just as a side note, I was looking at this area as well as far as going long was concerned. And because I thought this, if you look at it from this perspective, this trade right here, when this bar closed on this area, it was below this most recent price action. I thought this was a good trade, and to put a stop limit order. However, the stop limit order did not fill. It just it fell away. And once it broke through the bottom of this channel, that's why I pulled this trade off, because it was a even though it was a right idea, I know from here, from what I thought, you know, there was room to get out. You can see right to these tops here, barely get room, but it was still room to get out. And that's why I looked at going long at this juncture with a stop limit order, but it didn't fill. So it just fell away down in this area. So that's why I re-evaluated, came back, and I saw, once I saw these turn around here, this move, I felt that this was the reasonable, because again, my stop is below my signal bar using this 15-tick stop. Whether I catch it or not, whether it's really the beginning of a longer move up, remains to be seen. But at least I've got my, as I said, I got my first 2 contracts off now at the 15 ticks, and then I can leave that position as far as a runner is concerned. So look at it from the perspective of how Mac calls it. It's like a scalp and run. You know, you get your first contracts off early, and then you hold your runners for long, and then add on and manage your trade from there. So that's what I've got. Anyways, that's it for now. It's probably going to be my last trade of the day with something to do this afternoon. And right now it's 25 to 12. So I'll just leave it go and see how it turns out. Okay, it came back and took me out plus 10 ticks just below this area. Just wasn't ready, which is good because I have to get going. That's it for now. Unfortunately, it didn't. I'm not saying it might not get here. We might get some more firming up. It might moving back to this area, retesting it. But it's Friday afternoon. It's afternoon. Whether or not you trade on Friday afternoon, things kind of slow down from 12 to the 2:30 close. Most of the action's already taken place, and I think maybe that was the case in this case as well. So that's it for now. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.